Facebook
I
Friday
think
with
it
the
might
Magic
be doing
Shores
check.
Travel. We're just doing a technical check. Are we recording, Amy?
I think so.
We're just gonna real quick log in on
Yes.
everybody's page here and share. And
Tonight we're going to be talking about the Caribbean Beach Resort, which unfortunately I have not had the pleasure of staying at yet, although we did drive through it. I believe we have a junior travel agent here who wants to say hi.
Hi.
Good night.
Good night, Olivia.
See you tomorrow, Mommy.
Okay.
But yes, while we are doing our technical difficulties
Okay.
podcast,
There's that one. And checking sound.
well, I can't check sound because you've got
I'm checking sound,
Okay,
sorry, I'm
Holly's
checking.
checking sound.
Yep.
So I haven't had the opportunity to stay there yet. We drove through it once, just on a grand tour of the Disney resorts, which, if you're ever there without park tickets, that's actually a lot of fun because they really focus on theming at the resorts. For those of you playing along with the Disney drinking game at home, theming is when you take a drink, because we say that all the time. A drink of hot cocoa, because this is a family cast.
It is. Yeah.
Yes.
It's
But,
okay, Olivia's not watching. She heard her on her way home. So, thanks for tuning in with us tonight, guys. Of course, this week at the table we have Amy,
Hello.
myself, Holly, Jeff, and special guest appearance by Ben.
Hello.
So,
Very special.
Very special.
as Ben mentioned, we will be talking about Caribbean Beach Resort in a little bit. So, of course, some things that represent Caribbean Beach. We have, obviously, the sand and the water and the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So,
Yes.
we'll get back to that a little bit later. But we do have a fair amount of news to share with you tonight, so we're going to get started on that. It's been a busy week for Disney. So,
It has.
first, moment of silence for our dear departed Wishes that ended its, I don't even know how long it ran.
13 years, I think.
13-year run.
I think I heard that somewhere.
Last night.
On the internet.
Still,
No one lies on the internet.
no one lies on the internet. The internet is full of facts.
And people are never wrong on the internet.
So, anyway, Wishes ended its run last night, in case you missed it. I still haven't sat down and watched the whole video. I'll probably do that later this evening. And then, of course...
I'll get the tissues.
Of course. No, you know what? I posted on another site that showed the video today, and I said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. And it was a great long-running show, but we are moving on to Happily Ever After tonight. And we're Disney is not letting any grass grow under their feet on this one. There will still be fireworks at the castle. No worries.
And for as many years as they've had it, I think that was like the first change. So
Yeah.
now we're on to the second or the third
Right.
showing
It's
of
been-
fireworks. And
Yeah, it's been a long-running gig,
Disney's
so.
all about change and improvement and keeping it magical. So there's more reasons, and they give you reasons to want to go back and revisit.
Absolutely.
And
And you can catch the new Happily Ever After on Disney Parks blog tonight, starting at 8:55. So
Yes.
we
Yes.
are going to try to do an express show tonight.
Try.
And be done by 8:55 so that you and us can go catch the new Happily Ever After show.
Yes.
I nominate myself for a podcast tyrant to keep us on task
Okay.
and getting things done.
Okay,
So,
Ben is in charge of
yep.
making sure that we are done by... We should
Good
be done
night.
at 8:55.
I can still catch a second screening of Guardians of the Galaxy if we go
Oh,
fast.
dear. So, in addition to Happily Ever After, we did have some fresh announcements this week, starting with Party.
Yes.
Woo!
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Tickets have now gone on sale.
Oh, my Christmas party is on sale too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't have anybody that needed them.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So if you are in need of tickets, they are ready for purchase. So those are select dates, and actually it starts, Halloween starts in
August.
Yeah, so if you are traveling the end of August and are...
It is a nice opportunity if you
Yeah.
happen to be traveling early and you don't have the opportunity to travel in September and October because of work schedule or whatever. It is an opportunity to get to experience that party. So I'm going to try to look at it that way. I mean,
And when we went last year, and it was the very first
it was
party.
like September 2nd, I think.
Or first, it was the
Yeah.
very first party, and I don't think it was crowded, was it?
No, and I really kind of expected it to be because a lot of times the first night is when all the cast members go. So it tends to be a little more crowded. Plus, it's a press event kind of thing because anybody that lives in the Orlando area who runs a travel agency or runs, a magazine or anything that's in any way related or uses Disney information to publish stories,
They want to be
they
the
have
first.
to be there the first night, because otherwise they're not informing their public. So it's definitely, you catch a lot more of that kind of crowd. I felt like it made the lines for things shorter.
Yeah.
Because there weren't as many people worried about getting a character meet and greet photo, or doing trick or treat, or even getting on rides. I think did we get on Mine Train that night? Or was it the year before? Oh no, it was at the DVC party. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I think the line from
Cancel
Mine
that.
Train was still kind of
Okay, because we got
long.
on Mine Train in like 20 minutes at like 6
wow.
at night.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was
This
crazy.
happens when you go to Disney too much.
It does. It does. I mean, they do blur together a little
They
bit.
can,
It's
because it's
They
always a party.
do. They
Yeah.
do.
It's always
Except
a
for
party.
the Christmas party.
Ben got sick at the Christmas party. He'll remember that forever.
Somewhere out there, I'm on
which
video
means
breakdancing with Chippendale, but I hope it never surfaces.
Yeah, which means I've actually only been to about 25% of a Christmas party, which I'm not super thrilled about. But anyway,
we're working on it. It's gonna get fixed. It's just
yeah,
taking some
stop
time.
dragging me other places. Please take me to a Christmas party. More news?
More news.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty excited to talk about the fact that Disney Cruise Line, the final 2018 itineraries go on sale next week, and they do drop at a different date based on what your Castaway Club level is. So if you've cruised with Disney before, you are automatically a Silver Castaway Club member, and I think it's 5 cruises to be a Gold. Is that right, or is it number of nights?
I'm not sure, but wait, don't you only get your silver when you've booked your second cruise?
No, after you've completed your first
Okay.
cruise, you're a Silver for the next one.
All right.
So if you're a repeat customer, a repeat guest, you get a day's advantage over people who aren't. So if there's a particular stateroom that you're trying to get on a particular ship, on a particular itinerary, that you want to get it booked ASAP. Yeah, because they will start booking the first day, and there will be, the best cabins will be booked immediately.
And we've mentioned this before, but I say it because it's the sooner you know you're going, book your cruise stateroom.
Yes.
Because
Other
unlike Disney World, Disneyland,
other cruise lines do this for their pricing. Okay.
and
Disney does this.
supply and demand. As of now, we got the 4 ships. They don't have a problem filling them.
Right.
So as soon as you know you're going, book your room. It's
Get it
because the
done.
price isn't going to go down.
Absolutely. Also, some new sailings coming out of DCL.
To Bermuda.
Bermuda, 3. There's actually a 6-night itinerary that's staying 3 nights in Bermuda. So that rivals the best itineraries out there on other ships. On Norwegian and Royal both do 3-night itineraries in Bermuda. So this is the first time that Disney's going out and directly challenging them in that market. And they're coming out of New York. So for those of us in our market in the Mid-Atlantic,
Right.
New York is a doable port.
Yes.
And I would say I would recommend it. I have never sailed out of New York, but I would recommend it over Baltimore sight unseen, because honestly, but the port in Baltimore it's not just because it's a highly industrial, like there's really nothing beautiful about it. It does not kick off your vacation in a magical fashion. Not only that, but that ship has to sail out of the Chesapeake Bay and fit under the Bay Bridge. The ship has to be really small to fit into the port of Baltimore. So that's why Royal's the only line that cruises out of Baltimore anymore, because everybody else is cutting their ships in half and making them bigger. And so, I'm sorry, Carnival does too. Carnival still sails out of Baltimore.
Yeah.
But, whatever, Carnival. I mean, sorry. But anyway, you have to be on a little ship to get in and out of that port. And if you're cruising across the Atlantic Ocean or down the coast, I wouldn't want to do that. It's not a good time. First-hand experience. It's not a good time. Are we okay?
Yeah, I'm just the signal on the checking up on the phone seems to be jacked up, but your still showing is there. So
Okay.
And I have left out of Baltimore on the Amtrak to go up to the
New
port,
York. Yeah,
to
that's
New York.
that's a nice ride.
Yeah, it wasn't bad because I wanted to time it for that, and plus when they had the inauguration of the Dream when it first came over from Germany.
Right.
I wasn't there with the movie stars the second day, but the first day the travel agents got to go on, and so it was very doable to get a cruise for Disney without having to fly. This will be one of your best bets. I think it's only 2 other times that they went out of New York already.
And they're doing a lot of varied sailings. They're doing some Canadian sailings out of New York.
Yes, Quebec City is on the list.
Right, and you're getting 2 full days in Quebec City on those itineraries, so that's pretty exciting because it's really nice on a cruise to be able to dock overnight because you get so much more opportunity to explore that port than, oh, we docked at 7 a.m., but nothing opens till 9, and by the way, we have to be back on board the ship at 4. So it's...
Or we're leaving it for...
Right, exactly. So it gets really, like, it can get very tight, and you end up being kind of pigeonholed into doing a cruise line excursion, just to make sure that you're back to meet the ship, and it gives you that guarantee that the ship's not going anywhere without you.
Oh my gosh. Your ship has sailed.
Right. When you have an overnight, you can take that first day and just go explore the city on your own, especially when you're on an Atlantic coast.
Get a fresh start.
Right. These cruises aren't taking you any place that's questionable safety-wise, or, I mean, you're going to Bermuda and Quebec City. You can get off the boat and go get a taxi and go somewhere. It's not like you don't need a cruise line excursion to guarantee your safety. So
you won't get a taxi in Bermuda.
That's true. Yeah. But you can take the water taxi
Yeah,
over to
and they do have
Hamilton.
the
Actually, you know what?
Scooter rentals are awesome because you can go all over the place. They do have 2 different bus lines depending on whether you get a blue or green pass to where you want to go. So they have a map. Where do you want to go in Bermuda? And that would be the bus ticket that you take to go one way or the other.
I didn't check to see if they're docking in Kings Wharf or there's one over on, what is it, George?
Yeah,
St. George on the
St.
other
George
side.
on the other side.
Yeah.
What if the opportunity's there? I didn't see the times because, like you say, it's just been announced. But if I had a chance to go a little bit westward on the island and to be able to see the sunset on the west coast, that would be one on my thing.
Right, because that is one of the really cool things about Bermuda is you can watch the sunset over the Atlantic Ocean, and there really aren't very many places where we have the opportunity to do that because we can see the sun rise. That's
and with
great.
having the 3 nights there, then
cool.
that probably pretty much answered my own question just now.
Right.
Because you will be there.
You'll definitely have time to do it. Yeah.
And find a private beach. Ask the locals where a private beach is. Sometimes you can go up.
If you're at Kings Wharf, there's a public beach that's right around the corner.
That's what I meant, public beach.
And it's
but
really,
there's a couple of them.
It's very secluded. Like, we didn't even realize it was there. We were docked there overnight, and we didn't realize until right before we had to be back at the ship that there was a pink sand beach tucked right around the corner from the cruise ship dock. So we actually didn't get an opportunity to do that, which is kind of a bummer.
Do you know how the beach is pink?
No.
It's actually from the
Is
coral
it the brine?
reefs.
Oh, the coral.
The coral reef.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That have eroded over the years because reefs are alive and they grow.
Right.
So it replenishes itself.
And
but
why it
that's
turns
exactly
pink.
Yep.
Wow. Neat. Yeah, see, we didn't get to see it. Didn't get to talk to anybody about it.
Yeah.
We did see the
I
town of
actually
Hamilton.
just looked
That
at
was
some
nice.
of the other places to stay down there, but now that Disney's going down there, I don't have to worry about anybody else because it's Disney.
Yep. Let's see, what else did... sorry, guys. There will be sailings. There are going to be more sailings coming out of California when the Wonder comes back and finishes its Alaska run at the end of the summer. There will be some itineraries from California that go down the Baja coast of Mexico. So there's Puerto Vallarta. What else is over there? Cabo San Lucas is one of the port stops.
That's become very popular.
Yeah, and then of course there will be a Panama Canal crossing when the Wonder comes back through the locks. We remember last week we said the Wonder was the first passenger ship that's gone through the new locks. So.
I didn't look to see if they still, because they had the 14 night from San Diego to Port Canaveral.
Yeah, I'm not sure where all that stops. I mean, I'm sure it goes down the Gulf and or down the Baja side and stops at Cabo and Puerto
because I had some clients on there, and they thoroughly enjoyed that. It was
awesome.
An extended cruise, but that's what they were there for.
Right, exactly.
Didn't want to get off the ship.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Back to reality.
And then there will be sailings out of Galveston too. There'll be some late fall sailings. So
that's become pretty regular, but it's good to know that they're going to continue.
I guess the Wonder comes back and does those, right? Because the Fantasy and the Dream continue to alternate out of Port Canaveral, and the Magic comes back to Miami. So it's got to be the Wonder that goes.
Do you think they'll let us book
runs.
the new ships for 2021 and 23? Can we book now?
I don't think we can get them yet. I don't know if we want to get them yet. They might not be seaworthy at this point.
Give me the room with no wall.
I'm not trying to get the one that
That's
does the
a big
Titanic
porthole.
impression.
It's a super veranda. They charge you extra for fewer walls.
It's open air.
It's like the verandas on the river cruises where you just open the sliding door and the
nothing
room is a veranda. They're like, we can't, because they can't build them out because of the narrowness of the rivers.
So they got swim out verandas.
They literally they're just like a floor to ceiling sliding glass door, and you open it and you're like, oh, my room has become a veranda.
That's it, the whole room.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool actually.
Reminds you of an all-inclusive.
Yeah. Also, in announcements next week, we will get the final on Adventures by Disney itineraries for 2018. So there are a couple of itineraries that are already open. Southern California has some of the January offerings available. I think Winter in Wyoming has their winter schedule out. But other than river cruises, nothing else has been announced for 2018. So we're going to get our first glimpse at those on the 17th, which is Wednesday. So if you're thinking about booking Adventures by Disney next year, that's when your opportunity to book is going to open up.
And make sure you tune into Holly's page for the next, it's the week after next, because we'll be doing Adventure by Disney from California.
Right, and we'll actually not be, our Friday live cast won't be any Adventures by Disney because we'll be finished with, the trip occurs between our two broadcasts. Next week, our live cast will be live from California at the Grand Californian, and then the following week will be live at Disneyland Hotel, but we will have postings in between that are, as much of the ABD trip as we're allowed to show. So, I suspect that will be precious little, because they do try to keep a lot of things a secret, because it just adds to that excitement factor when you get there. So there are a lot of things that we don't really know what's going to happen yet, and we'll share as much with you as possible, because as we've been going through this process, I've been a crazy person trying to find out every detail about what could happen, because I just want to know. I like to know. I'm not a surprise person.
I'm not a surprise person.
I like to
She
find
wants
out.
to know for the public.
Yes, exactly. But I love to have the information. I'm not as I don't know, like when it's a surprise, I'll build it up in my mind past anything that's possible.
No.
So then, like, the surprise is usually kind of a letdown. So
they're not going to let you know their wow.
Just pretend in your head it's an Adventures by Universal Studios, and
then okay, well, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, then everything will be great because it's actually an Adventures by Disney.
And if Adventures by Disney isn't as well known,
right.
and we speak of it as though maybe you guys or some people do, but it's close to 30 itineraries that are guided tours, covering many parts, the globe actually,
and they're not Disney-fied adventures. These are real, genuine, authentic experiences that Disney takes you into the heart of wherever you're going.
And one of your guides will be from the area.
Right, you'll have two. You have two adventure guides, so that means that one can be running the trip while the other is running interference and handling any issues that come up. And then they bring in a local guide on top of that for each location to give you the best of the local flavor. So,
and they do have adult-only itineraries, and they do have activities for the children when going through, like the Sistine Chapel. I think we mentioned last time.
Hi, Tammy.
That you're able to go and do and concentrate on what it is that you want to learn while they're still having historic and educational things for the children that are timed. So when your portion's over, you're joined back together, and then
Holly and I were talking about it, and they almost sound like land cruises,
right.
where some of your meals are covered, you've got people with you, and they kind of take you around. So it's almost like having a cruise that stays on land. So if you don't like water and motion sickness and all that stuff,
this is a great opportunity.
You might want to consider it.
It does price out slightly more expensive than what you can get a cruise for. Now, if you're looking at the best accommodations you can get on the cruise, you're going on the most interesting and unique itineraries for your excursions. You're paying for upgraded meals. Then you're going to find Adventures by Disney prices out pretty similarly to your cruise experience.
Yeah, because you will only stay in a 5-star. If there's no
5-star
available, then you go to a 4-star. But you will never stay anything.
Right, they're not going to. Yeah, they're not pitching a tent in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, you're not staying at the Best Western while you're out in California or wherever.
Well, for example, we're staying at the Loews Hollywood Hotel, which is in downtown Hollywood. It's like right at the El Capitan Theater and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So we're literally going to walk out the door of our hotel, from what I understand, and see the Walk of Fame right there. Right. So it's not like we're staying down the street. We have to get bused to that location. So I actually just booked to San Francisco for the end of July for the long weekend, and I'm doing that with my mom. And we're staying at the San Francisco Omni Hotel, which is a pretty reputable. It's a very reputable, fairly famous hotel in San Francisco. So the accommodations are definitely first class. You're not staying at Jim Bob's Motor Inn.
There's some of the ones in the Europe itineraries where you stay in castles.
Yeah.
And some of them are considered to the point where if we had a 7-star, that's what it would be considered close to. Some of them, the entire room's like marble with tapestries made from the local artisans that work things out, and
we're still working our way up to those.
I don't know if it's still, but year before last, like the Quest for the West, staying in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, included whitewater rafting, included 4-wheeling in the mountains, riverboat crossing.
They have several of the Western itineraries have some really cool adventure sport type things, like the rafting, and hiking, and there's one that goes to a dude ranch.
Nice.
Yeah, and you can horseback ride and learn roping and all kind of
That'd be
stuff.
so
S'mores.
Right, s'mores for everyone.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
And you can't even have s'mores at Disney World right now because of the brush fires.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
What else do we have on news?
Okay, yeah, we're
yeah.
We love it all. We love it all.
We do.
Moving back to the world, Animal Kingdom has started doing exotic animal shots. So if
They're so cool.
Yeah, so if you're asking for magic shots in Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
did you look at all the pictures? I didn't have a chance to look at. I saw the headline, but
I saw like 6 of them.
okay, I saw the panda, and that was it. Like
Yeah.
there's panda poking out.
Simba.
Of the tree. Simba.
I think there's
Oh,
a
they're
monkey and-
pictures.
Yeah.
I thought they might have been like animal themed, like
Magic
shots.
shots. No.
They superimposed.
Shots.
Although Disney, call me.
But with your
Well, like the unicorn frappuccino. You've seen that, right? The Starbucks thing, the most ridiculous thing. Anyway,
So let me talk. She's talking about something real.
You don't really have to let me know.
no.
Yeah, tall giraffe.
with your photo pass or your memory maker, they now have at Animal Kingdom, and I guess I'm assuming they're going to start more at each
Definitely.
location. So I think they need to spruce that up a little bit. But there are exotic photos at Animal Kingdom, and so you can have your picture of you and your family, and then have like a monkey on top of like a monkey sitting on top of your head or whatever. But they're really cool.
Did I see one with banshees in them from the new
Oh,
Avatar
I don't
thing?
know. I only saw
Wait
the
a
panda.
minute, I didn't hear that one.
Well, I don't know for sure. It might have been it was in one of our
That's pretty
Facebook
cool.
one of our Disney Friends Facebook feeds, but I think I saw one today with like a banshee. It was like everyone was
yeah.
like banshee or something like that. So
I can't see why. they
don't
wouldn't.
quote me on that.
Oh,
It'd be
I could be
I mean,
wrong.
it sounds
Perfect
like
timing.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The timing would be awesome.
Unless there was Photoshop involved, then yeah.
Well, I mean, there's already Photoshop
Well, but
involved,
I mean,
but
like amateur Photoshop, not Disney Photoshop.
I don't know. I've seen some of their Photoshop.
In the same vein with photos, meet and greets, Guardians of the Galaxy has a lot of new meet and greets, of course, with the new movie coming out. So at Hollywood Studios, you can meet Star-Lord and Baby Groot. And at Disneyland, I think Star-Lord and Baby Groot are already out.
I don't know.
I saw, well, I don't know, did I see it by publicity or, see, I lose track of whether I see them by publicity by Disney or
Well,
if
yeah.
a friend posted it. So, because they were actually there and got the picture. I think that one has started. The one at Disneyland starts with the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is the new refurbed Tower of Terror. That you did hear that right. They took the Tower of Terror in Disneyland away and made it a Guardians of the Galaxy Adventure Mission Breakout.
And
I'm
Disney,
strangely okay
Disney
with it.
World
Yeah.
is still okay.
Disney World is still Tower of
It's still
Terror,
safe.
so and I highly doubt they're going to change the one in Disney World because
I can't see that.
I think they did it just they want people to go and experience the other park, and
Mm-hmm.
why are you going to do that if all the attractions are the same?
Right.
Well,
Doesn't
plus
make
they're
sense.
building the Star Wars section in
Right.
the backstage lot area, so it's,
Yeah, so they're going to have some other new things there. But the meet and greet at Disneyland is Star-Lord, Gamora, and Big Groot.
good morning to you.
Original Groot.
Original Groot. I'm Groot. So that's happening. That starts May 27th. So we'll be bringing you some live footage of that experience too.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, assuming we can get in and it's not down and it doesn't. You know,
Wait, is
there are
that-
technical issues on opening day.
Is that in the middle of our Adventures by Disney
Here's the thing:
thing?
it's after Adventures by Disney, but
Because they totally want us
there's a serious possibility that we could get on like a soft open kind of situation.
on. That'd
So
be awesome.
yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that.
Keep them crossed.
Yeah. No. Okay, yeah. It's gonna be odd numbers for crossing fingers.
And that's going to do it for us for the news, I believe. Anybody else have anything
That was all
fun
I
and
had.
exciting? Okay. So tonight,
Caribbean Beach.
woo! We talked about Coronado already, yes?
Yes.
So this is actually the last of our moderates.
So this moderate resort actually, there is a 45-acre, they call it Barefoot Bay, and around it sits 6 villages, what they call villages, and that's where your resorts are.
And appropriately named.
Yes, so we have
North and South.
North and South
Trinidad.
Trinidad, Aruba, Jamaica, Martinique, and Barbados. And each of those villages has their own pool, which I think is
That's kind of cool.
really
Six
cool.
heated pools,
Yeah.
7.
7 heated pools.
And then you have
I
your
forgot about the
6
main
without
pool.
the main pool. Yeah.
then you have the main pool or the themed pool, which
Which
has,
is between Martinique and North Trinidad.
correct.
Hi,
Yes.
Howard.
And then, of course, the one has a slide, which doesn't kind of,
Really doesn't
compare
measure up, does it?
to our
Measure
other
up.
one. Look what you did there. Look what you did there.
You like it?
This one's only 82 feet long.
Wah,
But it comes out of
wah.
like a wrecked ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
And
the pool has a really good reputation. It's just
Yeah.
it's not a like this is the best water slide on the planet pool.
But it has water cannons. So not
and I
just,
keep thinking that area
Yeah.
just got refurbished, but the thing is, it's been a few years. Yeah.
But speaking of refurbishments, this resort is going under major renovations for their food courts and the gift shop. So that's not there.
Right, so the shutters.
And there's no original dining there. But what
Right.
they have done, which in my opinion sounds
It's a good deal.
pretty awesome. They've set up a buffet that you can use for breakfast and dinner,
And it's a quick service.
and it's quick service. So a quick service buffet. So
If
even
you're staying somewhere else, you can go over there and get a buffet for your quick
No, you
service.
can't.
Dumpling.
Oh, it's only for.
it's only for
It's only for their
yes,
guests.
and you will get your band scanned to make sure you are a guest.
Right. Oh. That's
So
a
you
bad
can't even bring your
stand.
friends. Like
No.
if you have people staying at a different
Right.
resort, you can't pile on and I'll go to
Right.
the buffet.
So they do have a temperature controlled tent that has the buffet, and with it being a quick service, it's also, if you're not on the dining plan, it's also priced very reasonably for, again, breakfast and dinner. Then in 3 other of the villages, they're having grab and go kiosk type
Yep.
things. So you can grab and go a sandwich or a breakfast sandwich or I think maybe a wrap or a salad maybe, I'm
So
not
this-
sure.
I mean, this is
So-
a pretty good deal if you're there for during refurb.
Yeah, because instead of having to walk all the way to Port Royal to grab your food, you might actually just be walking out of your own village and grabbing food, which
I haven't
is
thought.
very
I thought
convenient.
about it, but I didn't find out at the grab and goes if you can get your refillable mug at those.
I don't
locations.
know. It didn't
I
say
know.
anything
Yeah,
about
that's
the
a good,
drinks. I don't
yeah.
know.
I didn't get a clear answer.
Good
Yeah.
question.
I don't know. But in my opinion, I don't think it's that bad. And Disney does advertise whenever any refurbishments are going on. They try to limit the hours to 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And that is actually specified in the refurbishment schedule that we have that at dusk, all construction activities
9
should
a.m.
cease until 9 a.m.
Yes.
the next morning. So really, at any resort that you have construction going on at, never be afraid to grab that resort. I mean, unless the pool is down and that's the main thing that you wanted about that resort,
Mhm.
that would really be the only reason I would say maybe shy away from a resort because of construction. Because otherwise, you're either getting a better deal because there's some sort of room rate reduction that you may or may not actually see happening, but I guarantee you it's lower than the price is supposed to be. There's some sort of like this a meal situation where you're able to get a buffet quick service. That's unheard of. It doesn't exist anywhere else on Disney property.
There is nothing like that.
Right. So the amount of food that you're able to get for your day, based on the amount of cost that you're going to have associated with that, it's just a tremendous value.
Yeah. And as far as we know, there's no refurbishments on the pools. Like they seem to be up and running. So the only
even
thing,
the big cool pool with the water
Yeah.
cannons.
so as far as we know, it's just the
Cool pool.
Port Royal,
Fancy.
and
pool.
we're not exactly sure what's happening. If they're changing names, if they're changing
Right.
what they're changing.
Previously, it was Shutters for the table service and Old Port Royal food court for the quick service. So that may or may not come back at the end. It might they might just be doing a facelift overhaul kind of thing. They might be changing the entire scope of
That's
what
the
they're
first
doing
time I
there.
ate kush.
Really?
Oh, that's good.
So really, no idea if the menus are coming back the same yet. If if the structure will look the same.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking they might revamp. I mean, but they
Yeah,
want
'cause
to
it's
keep. They
supposed
want
to
to
be
keep the
pretty expensive.
island
It's-
style themed
Right.
foods.
Yeah,
So-
but it's going to be a pretty long.
But I think
timetables
I've never
from
heard
what I was
really
looking
anything great about Shutters as far as being a great table service meal. So hopefully, whatever they're doing, some sort of improvement to Shutters is going to be incorporated with that, because it would be nice to have another good table service option, at a resort.
Yeah, I actually thought the food court offered more of a variety.
Yeah.
for, than shutters, where you go to another moderate, like a Caribbean, Coronado Springs. The restaurant there was fabulous,
It was much better.
And we want to mention the pirate-themed rooms that are Caribbean or Caribbean Beach.
And they're in the Trinidad South section.
And what that means, if you're not looking at the map, is that Disney came up with a way, and it's been a few years since they've done it, to make these themed rooms, but the themed rooms were actually the ones that were a little further away, to get people to want to fill up the full resort. They still have the full-size beds?
They have full-size beds in the pirate ship because of the structure of the ship. They couldn't make it accommodate the queen-size beds and still apparently have enough space to walk in the rooms. So
and they also don't accommodate five people.
They accommodate 4 people. So, and honestly, in a double bed, if you're going to a moderate, chances are you're looking for a better sleeping accommodation anyway. You probably don't want the pirate-themed rooms if you're more than, maybe have 2 small children. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to stay in a room that had that much furniture in it with a 5th person anyway, so I think that problem solves itself. Mm-hmm.
But for the young pirates, it can add a lot of excitement to your stay.
Oh, absolutely.
Some of them want to get back to the room.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it is the other rooms, the non-pirate theme rooms, still have the queen beds like all the other moderates, and most, if not all of them, have the fold-down bunk for the 5th person. Yeah. So that bunk accommodates a child between the ages of 3 and 9. Mm-hmm. So for families of 5, a lot of times at a moderate, you're going to get a better deal than what you're going to get trying to stay in a family suite.
Yes.
So while the Art of Animation family suite sleeps 6, there's only 1 actual bed in them, and you're paying almost a deluxe rate to sleep those 6 people. Mm-hmm. Now, that's better than buying 2 rooms at a deluxe because they would only accommodate 5. But mm-hmm. The way that the pricing works out, if you don't have 6 people in your party, it's hard to justify choosing the suites. It's a lot easier if you've got a party of 5, Caribbean Beach, Port Orleans, Coronado. Does Coronado have any 5s? Do you know?
I don't know.
We'd have to check on that. If you got a party of 5, let us know. But it's a lot easier to justify doing those moderate rooms with a party of 5 than it is to go to a cabin.
Unless you're looking for the square footage, because you are going to get the more square footage.
But you've only got 1 bed in the suite.
But you also have a door to shut so that mom and dad can have some privacy, and you have 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, 2 bathrooms.
That is true.
The 2 bathrooms is kind of a big deal if 5 people are trying to get ready in the morning.
You look at the family's demographics, and then it's.
But a lot of families that I have that are 6, it's mom, dad, 2 kids, and grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
For them, the family suite I think is a terrible option in that case because of only having the 1 bed. That puts mom and dad on the fold-out sofa with the kids on the Murphy bed in the kitchen. Like, if you want to do it, more power to you, but that wouldn't be my choice.
And the bed that we were talking about, the Caribbean Beach, I know it says to 9 years old. They do have a 250-pound weight limit, which is not bad for a 9-year-old. So,
right.
I mean, I actually laid on them to see how they were.
And it worked okay.
I was comfortable. Yeah. I mean, and
I was
a little over.
I've never tried to lay down on one. I mean, we always open them up and look at what the scene is behind. Because all the resorts have a different scene. So, like, Wilderness Lodge has a Bambi scene, and Beach Club, I think, has a... I forget. No, Polynesian has Lilo and Stitch. Mm-hmm. And so they're very cute. I mean, even if you're staying in the room and don't need it, make sure you pop the little bunk down and check out what the little scene is inside.
I'll put my suitcase on her so I don't have to bend over.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, if you've got the bunk.
And speaking of the rooms, Caribbean Beach actually, as a moderate resort, is the largest square footage of rooms of moderate resorts at 340 square feet.
Which is a good reason to choose it.
Yeah, so it's a little bit larger square footage than any other moderate resort.
Right. Do we know how many bus stops it has? Does it have a bunch of internal bus stops?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
So Caribbean Beach would probably be a great resort to rent a car at.
Yeah. 6 is a lot.
6 is a lot.
And the islands are, they're 7. Islands. They truly are spread out. There's a 7th one?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I didn't count the one there's not a little bus icon at the front. 7.
Yeah, so 7.
Yeah.
So, if you've got all the time in the world to get to and from the parks, bus, no problem. But if you're in a bit of a hurry, like we sometimes are, then, it might be worth it to look into renting a car.
Now, of course, as part of the renovations, the gondolas are coming to Caribbean Beach.
Oh.
So that is going to change up the transportation there a little bit. But even so, I've heard a lot of people commenting that they don't think they'd ride the gondolas because of the height. Yeah. So if the... We're gonna stay at different resorts, I guess.
Or we're gonna take different modes of transportation.
There you go. We'll race. Oh, we can race.
That'll be fine. That's fine. I'll race right back to bed and take a nap.
I think
It'll
I
be
would get
great.
butterflies in my stomach going up.
Oh my gosh,
I can't see it
I'm
being
excited
that high.
about it.
There's no reason why it has to be too high.
I'm really excited about it.
I don't know.
It's gonna be like the Skyway.
It's got shades of Mickey's Terror Wheel.
Mickey's Terror Wheel's amazing.
You can notch out the tree line so like you can go through it.
We'll try to. If I can get Ben back on Mickey's Fun Wheel at California Adventure, we'll definitely shoot some live footage from there.
Yes, you want to see a
I'm
grown man
thinking
terrified
of terror.
and you want to see a grown man hyperventilate and a 275-pound man pass out.
The wheel of
No,
terror.
I've seen that. I don't want to see it again. I don't like that show.
This is the floor of the Ferris wheel cage. There's Ben.
So anyway, getting back to Caribbean Beach, there are ceiling fans at Caribbean Beach, which is not all that common among the moderates.
Right.
I can't. Do you remember in Coronado? Were there ceiling fans?
I don't remember, honestly.
I don't either.
I don't think there were, though.
I don't remember them. I don't remember there being one, and I feel like I would have noticed
I
that.
feel like that would stand out
Yeah.
because that's not
I noticed
some...
it immediately in Polynesian. So
Okay.
yeah, sorry, we didn't mean ex parte conversation here.
Coronado does.
Coronado does. Okay, well it's just us. We're not observant.
We did it during the refurb.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. They weren't there when we were there.
Yeah,
I promise.
totally. We were totally on the ball then.
Port Orleans, French Quarter, I can tell you for sure doesn't have them.
I think we
almost
discussed last week that they did have them.
French Quarter?
No. Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah.
Riverside. I think that. Okay, so it's not 100% among the moderates, but Caribbean Beach is one that does have ceiling fans. So, I think that's a nice feature. I like the, it's nice to be able to circulate some air in your room, because depending on who the last person was in before you and what temperature they preferred, that might not match up with your preferences. Mousekeeping might have set the temperature back, or so.
Mousekeeping.
Yeah, so you might get into the room and find it a little on the stuffy side from time to time. So it's a nice option to be able to get it freshened up pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, I tend not to have the room as cold as I used to. At one time, it was just like 0.
Yeah, what's the coldest setting
Now
this
it's
thing
like,
goes to?
And so with the refurbishments and everything else that's going on down there, we can't report anything as far as the restaurants.
Right,
I
there's
have
nothing
stayed
you
there
really
on
talk
2
about.
occasions, but I can't speak on the dining experiences. We already discussed the rooms.
Right. We'll be sure to update you once the refurbishments have some.
And we didn't
some kind
want
of
to
need
take this
them.
out of the scheduling because some people wanted to know what's going on, and so that's it. It's under refurbishment.
Yeah.
Did they give dates for the refurbishment? I'm sorry if I missed that earlier.
I believe it's a pretty long term.
Okay.
I think we do have some vague dates listed, but I mean, my phone's up there recording right now, so.
It only just started in May, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
And we've already taken care of most of our clients that were booked to stay there, but if you booked, and this is just putting it out there because we love everybody, if you booked at Caribbean Beach prior to
The end of March, I think.
March 20th, and your stay is between now and the end of the year, that they offered a gift card back.
And that was a pretty generous offer.
It was
$75
like $75, yeah.
A night, yes.
So if you're out there, contact your travel agent or yourself, or well, we can't do anything for you now, but because the sales for that portion, and it was generous, as you said,
Right.
but along with their buffet style food and stuff, that was something that Disney tried to do to compensate people. And as Holly said, that sometimes if you really want to get a deal, you might want to steer towards a place that's being refurbished and take that as your advantage, because I'm not going to be there during the day.
Exactly.
When
Let's be honest. How much time are you really spending at the resort?
From
Unless
9
you're
to dusk.
intentionally making time to stay there, you're in the parks most of the day.
Yeah.
So, does it really bother you that much that they're hammering away while you're playing? I mean, I don't care.
And they always do a very, very good job, whether it's in the parks or the resorts, of hiding the refurbishments. So like they'll have these masked walls up, and sometimes you don't even
with murals on and
know.
stuff, yeah, so it's like,
Sometimes
And it
you don't
usually
even
matches.
know.
The scrims usually match the building that they're covering.
Right.
So if at first I've even walked by 1 or 2 of them and been like, confectionery was under refurb one time we were down. I walked straight into Main Street. I'm halfway down Main Street, and I was like, oh, the confectionaries can be refurbished. I didn't even walk
Yeah,
right
they
past it, didn't
sugarcoated
notice
that.
Yeah, actually, same with the Emporium last
Oh
time
my
we were
God.
there, when I
Yeah.
ducked in to the Magic Kingdom real
it. Yeah,
quick.
the day I couldn't go into the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, no,
The saddest day ever.
Yeah. But yeah, they had the Emporium, I believe, was under construction, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
it still is.
wait, something's new here. Oh, right.
Yeah. They built a new building. Oh no.
And I was just in Wilderness Lodge, and they are going under refurbishments.
Mhm.
And it's even in the main lobby, the rooms facing the lobby, I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out to me. They did such a good job of hiding it. It looked just like all the other rooms, but then I noticed there was no doors. It was just
Right.
It looked like this. I don't know, it was just really cool. But how they could even just do that.
Yeah. So definitely don't worry. I mean, we stayed at Wilderness Lodge it was during the main pool refurbishment.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I was a little bit disappointed because I was looking forward to checking out the pool in that area. They always provide you an alternate pool if the main pool is disturbed. So there'll be a bus available that you can go to another resort and use their pool, and then have those arrangements made ahead of time. Yes, I mean, I shouldn't say always, because I guess there's, that's on an individual case-by-case basis, but I haven't seen a pool go down for refurb in the last 2 years that there wasn't like, okay, Wilderness Lodge pool's down, you get to use Polynesian's pool. Okay. That's been kind of the standard protocol for a
Because
while.
I've never went pool hopping. I've never stayed in one resort and swam in another pool.
Yeah, you can pull that off some places.
Yeah, they can't do
Except
that
Beach
either.
Club.
Beach Club, you can't do it. Art of Animation, you can't do it. And Polynesian, I think they've got.
I heard they're
gated now.
following suit because
Yeah, they're
they've
gated
been
now.
refurbished and they're following suit, and
Right.
because they did such a job well done.
Right, so they know
And
people are like at the Grand Floridian.
For
I
me,
wanna
all
go
the
there.
pool refurbishments what I love about every one of them is the zero entry.
Yes.
Because I would rather just walk in and walk out
Yeah.
instead of going up and down the ladder.
And
It's good for me.
I think it's nice too, because even though they're heated pools, sometimes it is a little chilly and you're trying to swim, and that zero entry gives you a little more time to get adjusted.
Yeah. And for little ones, for
Oh,
people taking down your grandchildren.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
Or if you're middle aged and you're taking down mom and dad to go, and they might not want to get in the pool all the way. You can stand up to waist high water, knee high water. Let them get their thing going on, and spend time with them while you're down there and in their comfort zone.
Right. Yeah. Of course, Caribbean Beach does have the, in addition to the aquatic play area, the pool, the whirlpools, they also do have the bike trail, the running trail, movies under the stars, pretty much the standard family fun that you'll find at any Disney resort anymore. All of the resorts really do cater to making your family's experience very all-encompassing, very fun. You could spend a day at the resort just playing, and you would have a good time. It's not, you definitely wouldn't get bored and sit around in your room and be like, I don't know what to do. Yeah.
And if it's not included with your check-in package, which normally it is, there's an activities calendar
Somewhere
or
usually near
activities,
the pool.
events,
Yeah.
and you can take advantage of those on a day that you might want to come
Right.
back a little early and still have something
And they
to
do
occupy the children.
trivia, name that tune, beach
Treasure
volleyball.
hunt?
Yeah, beach volleyball contest.
I had to talk him in because they had these cool little tie-dye peace signs. And
At Pop.
at Pop. And I was like, puppy dog face, I just want the peace sign.
Like, no, you got to do the treasure hunt.
You got to do the treasure hunt.
Does anybody have any other last-minute Caribbean Beach exciting things about the resort?
No, I'm just waiting for it to open so I can try eating there again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, just as a personal point of reference, this is among my least favorite moderate resorts. I would tend towards Port Orleans as my top, either Riverside or French Quarter, because you can use the amenities interchangeably there. So that's kind of just where do you want to sleep, and then followed by Coronado and lastly Caribbean for me. So how about you guys? Where do you?
I've never stayed there.
I haven't stayed at Caribbean, but
Yeah.
I haven't stayed there because I have it didn't look desirable to me relative to the other moderates. So that's kind of where I'm going with on that one.
I think that the color scheme was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, the theme of the whole resort was there. I just didn't get the feel of the Caribbean. Like, I don't know. It was.
It's almost like there are too many deciduous trees and not enough palm trees to make it feel like it's really.
And they had the
tropical.
hammocks on the beach and all you could see,
Yeah.
and different things. But it was just the way it was laid out. It was so spacious. It just didn't feel like an island theme. I just didn't feel that. Where you go to Port Orleans, Riverside,
And
you
you
have
feel like
the willow
you stepped
trees.
into
You know,
Louisiana.
yeah, you feel like you're in the rural
Right.
New Orleans, and French Quarters, you're in the urban New Orleans. Coronado Springs, they had the Aztec type theming with the pyramid pool, the food, the decor. And that's another large resort. If you stay there, you might want to consider a preferred room there.
Yeah.
And they do have a class down there that a lot of the cast members didn't like us mentioning is a Coco Nino Lounge resort. They have a business class that is sort of a, we mentioned this a few weeks ago, sort of like the concierge level service for a moderate resort. So for not that much more money, it includes being closer by the, what do you call it,
El Centro.
right. And they had the...
because it's in the Casita section.
Casita section, we
but
did
it's near
mention
the El
that.
Centro.
I just thought that was kind of cool to be able to have the that level of service at a moderate, and it comes with a cost that's not much more than what you'd get a preferred room for anyways. So that's going to be one of my bucket list things.
Very nice. Okay. Any final thoughts before we close it out?
Before we go watch fireworks?
So tonight's little tidbit story comes from Disneyland. Just kind of prep for heading there next week. And it's about the cats of Disneyland. So when Walt Disney was walking through the park with his Imagineers, he was asking, as the park was getting ready to open after it had been open, what are we doing with this castle? We got this great castle here. We got to put something in it. And his Imagineer said, well, Walt, we have a problem. And he said, well, what's that? And he's like, the Imagineer said, well, some of the cats have taken up residence in the castle. So, of course, they go up there to investigate the situation and find that hundreds of cats have taken over Sleeping Beauty Castle, fleas included. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that set into motion a large-scale project to remove both the fleas and the cats from the castle. However, of course, Disney didn't want to be seen as, some sort of animal hater in tossing all the cats out. So they did make sure that each and every one of the feral cats found homes and actually kept some in the park because, as they discovered when they removed the cats, the rodent problem increased. And not in regards to Minnie and Mickey, the real live rat problem became an issue. So even today, you'll find that feral cats are in and about Disneyland, and they are cared for by Disney cast members. They are fed by Disney cast members, and then sent out to control the rodent population in parks to keep them at bay.
So they get free dining.
They do get free dining. In fact, they are the only people at Disneyland Resort who get free dining.
I have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to get it.
Ratatouille.
So when you do make it to the West Coast, you're going to want to keep an eye out for our furry friends who are out there helping us to not encounter any mice.
Did you see any when you were out there?
I don't remember seeing them the last time. We'll have to specifically look.
Okay.
I believe that they keep them, they try to keep them at bay during the day and then let them out to hunt at night. So they prefer that anyway.
I mean, Disney World has a duck problem.
Disney World has a
my
serious
So-
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Those ducks poop in the pool.
Stop.
So, with that, happily ever after fireworks starting on Disney Parks Blog in 5 minutes. We'll see you there. And next week, Ben and I will see you at the Grand Californian Hotel
Whoop!
at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So, till then, see you real soon.
Thank you so much, and have a magical rest of your weekend.
Good night.
Good night.